lights off and pause. My eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and rolls of life. Love and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal shit and lids, moments reflected. Often mirrors and pit, quick, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raining in rain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Thursday. And what a good week it's been. Except yesterday, this weather going back and forth just beat me up. And but anyway, I'm kind of excited because it is that time of year. I'm sorry, I'm in the process of trying to add my question of the day to my feed, which our question of the day is really good. I think I love this this question today. We've been talking about it the other day when we were going to have it on my live streams and on my Instagram and on my YouTube. Obviously, it's us, and which is going to be the question today. And then, of course, on my Facebook. And today it's crazy because today is the launch of the NBA schedule, which we're all excited about. I know I'm excited about it. I think you guys are too. That we're excited about the NBA schedule being released, and we're going to talk about that, of course, because we are the Oklahoma City Thunder World Champions 2025, the defending champions, coming up soon because the season starts like October 21st. So we will be talking about all that. But the Thunder schedule has the early schedule. It's going to be released today, probably here in about 30 minutes. About 15 minutes, the full schedule, NFL, NBA schedule will be released. So we will have a feel for that. But we do know what our schedule is going to be coming up. And here is normally I would say our first 10 games, but of course it's not that because of the simple fact of what we're doing. But here's the schedule that we have thus far for the Thunder that the NBA has released. So we kind of know what these games will be and whether they'll be on TV or not. But I believe that, some of these games, of course, it'll still be on our, what's it called? Oh my God, my mind's dropped because of who they are. But anyway, opening night, as we talked about, October 21st. What's up, Alex? Hey, brother, how's it going? It's going good for me, big dog. But October 21st, Rockets, first game of the year, okay? Opening night. And that's when the Thunder get the rings and have the banner done, which is great because in the NBA, we talked about this, how messy the NBA is. They're messy. The NBA is so messy. Kevin Durant will be appearing back here again with the Houston Rockets, and he will get to see the banner raised and the guys get their rings. Now, I think that the teams will be out there for the banner being raised. I don't think the opposing team will be out there for the rings. I mean, because to me that is very, very messy because I know that if I'm sitting there, I don't want to sit out there and watch each player get their own rings. Now, the banner being raised, that may be something completely different, but it's irrelevant because Kevin Durant will be hearing the fact that he will hear the banner being raised and he will hear each player get their rings. So that's going to be pretty cool in itself. 6:30 NBC will be that game, and I'm looking forward to that. October 23rd, playing the Pacers in Indiana, which won't be the same because Miles Turner's gone and Hallie's gone, both. Hallie, the injury. By the way, prayers out to him, getting speedy recovery. I'm a big Tyrese Halliburton fan, huge Tyrese Halliburton fan. I liked him and when him and J-Dub played together against the USA team a few years ago in the World Cup when the team was going to the Cup or going to the World Championships. That team I thought was really, really good with him and J-Dub on it. Then, of course, The NBA Cup happens after that. We play the Kings on November 7th at Sacramento, to be announced, to be determined as far as TV station. Of course, we know we're going to be able to watch it on our local Thunder channel. November 21st at the Jazz. So after the first two games, the Thunder should be 2-0 in the Cup. Remember, we played in the finals last year, so we should be 2-0 up at this point. Then we played the T-Wolves, which at home, and that's the day before Christmas, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, not Christmas. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we have the T-Wolves. 6:30 ESPN, and then the following Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving, we play the Suns at home again at 8:30, and TV will be determined on that. So when you look at the schedule and you look at what the NBA Cup of us going back, the minimum we should be is 3-1. We should be three. I think we should be 4-0, but I believe us and the T Wolves will advance. But I think that we should be the number one seed coming out of A division. Our division, I believe we're the Group A division, and I think we should be coming out of that division as the number one seed. But if we lose to the T Wolves and they beat the other three teams, which I'm sure they probably will, then of course they'll be the number one and we'll be number two. So, but I believe we should go ahead because, like I said, I know Minnesota to me doesn't scare me because they don't match up with us. We match up with them better than they match up with us, and I talked about this, and we'll go over it again. The teams that worry me, that is a hard matchup, like Denver. I mean, I like them, but they don't worry me. We split every year, but at the end of the day, I think defensively we will make the stops that we need to make and do the things we need to do. And as long as the coach doesn't make mistakes like he did at the end of last year, at the end of game one, there won't be any issues. That's just me. And then, of course, so I think we should go 3-1 minimum. 4-0 is what we should be because the Kings and the Jazz, both of them on the road, we should handle our business against them, whether it's at home or on the road. And then the T-Wolves and the Suns. Because to me, I think we want to do something no other team has done. And I talked about this earlier, that I believe we should come back because we were disappointing against the Bucks. And once again, Coach changed the lineup that he does, whatever the reason why he does what he does, which is just insane to me, why he does some of the things that he does. And it costs us every single time in big games. But anyway, I think it's something that we should probably do is try to win the Cup. I know that sounds a little, I don't know what I'm looking for. It sounds maybe a little arrogant that I want us to win both, be able to be the first team to win the Cup and then turn around and win the thing. Because to me, what's wrong with that? Why not be the first? You can only be the first once. And I'd like us to be the first team to accomplish that goal. Then we play the Spurs on Christmas Day at 1:30 on ABC. And, of course, that will be at home. And Christmas Day it's always a good time. And it's always a good game. And I think we're playing back at Christmas in a 1:30 game, which will be great on ABC. Wemby versus Chet. Should be a great game, and hopefully we'll get a chance to go to that. But Christmas is a hard thing. Probably, I don't know if I'll be able to make that because, the commander's probably going to take his daughters or daughter-in-law with the wife, whatever, do the whole family Christmas thing. But hopefully Kimberly will be cooking later on that day so we can enjoy the food. By the way, his wife is an amazing cook, and I always enjoy going over to eat at their place. January 19th at the Cavs, 1:30 p.m. game. NBC, that right there to me is going to be a huge game at the Cavs, 1:30 NBC. I just believe that's going to be a hell of a game. Looking forward to watching that game and seeing what's going to happen there. And that's MLK Day, of course. It's the day of January 19th. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. But when you look at the schedule and you look at the potential road maps or road losses or losses period in this first was that 3, 6, 8 games that have been posted thus far. The Rockets, to me, they really, we struggle against the Rockets, and to me that's going to be a hard game for us to win simply because number one, we have a tough road against them anyway. They just play us, and SG always usually has tough games against them for whatever reason. Probably has a lot to do with Amen Thompson. But anyway, you have the Rockets to start it off. And I think, the chances of winning that game is pretty tough simply because the distractions. We got the banner, we got the rings. It's the first game. Blah, it's a lot of other distractions. A lot of family for the players coming in. I think that's going to be a tough game for us to win, possibly lose. If we lose, I don't lose any sleep over it simply because of the simple fact that that's how it is. But my question will be, that will be the game, which is a small thing. But that will be the game that SGA scores 20 points. He breaks the tie between he and Kevin Durant. That game. And that's something that most people are not even talking about or don't even really recognize. But that will be the game that he breaks the NBA record, the post merger record between the NBA and the ABA. So since then, Kevin Durant had the record between playing for Oklahoma City and playing for Golden State of the most 20-point straight games. And I believe SGA will definitely try to do that simply because, to me, that's something I think he would want to do to separate himself even further from Kevin Durant. Number one, you didn't bring a championship to Oklahoma City. I did. You got one MVP, so do I. So I think that that's something that SGA will be on his list to do, to me, because just to be able to break his record. So, man, and see, that's why I said the NBA is messy because, number one, the fact that Kevin Durant believed and said that the Thunder would not win a championship. We did. He's gone. He went to the finals, did not win one, did not bring one back again. So to me, is he the greatest player, most skilled player? Yes, to play at Oklahoma City, without question. He'll be in my top 10 list. He will replace Tim Duncan in my top 10 list of all time because all three levels of scoring, he is just the best ever. That's 3-point, that's mid-range, that's down low. He is the best I've ever seen. So he will replace Tim Duncan in my top 10, not the other guys, but Tim Duncan he will replace. And then so for that to happen and for SGA to break the record that he currently is tied with KD, to me, that is something that I'm excited about watching and excited about being there because to me, that's a huge thing. Number one, for us at Oklahoma City to completely, especially if we win, that's going to make it even better. But like I said, if we lose, I'm okay with that, but simply because it's a distractionary game because of the banner, because of the rings. But I think SGA, and plus it's the Rockets, and we just have a tough game against them. Now, my grandson, on the other hand, he will be abusing me, sending me, FaceTiming me, telling how we lose to them and blah, 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 whatever, little G. You're still my boy. I still love you. But, yeah, I know I'm going to have to deal with you. So, but I do believe that those two things are going to be really hard. But SGA also struggles against Amen Thompson and against the whole Houston Rockets team. Now that it's only Amen to really go against him, not necessarily the whole team that they had before the trades, but Dorian Finney-Smith he struggles against as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that does. Okay, let me see. The commander send me this. He's going to send me some schedules or some stuff. Okay, he's sending me the schedule here. Okay, it's looking like we're going to play at Houston at home. Then we go to Indiana on Thursday. Saturday we play the Hawks. And then Monday we play at Dallas. Boy, they did us zero favors, Commander. They did us no favors at all. At Houston, at Indiana, Houston at home, at Indiana, at Atlanta, at Dallas. The Kings at home should be a W. The Wizards at home should be a W. The Pelicans at home should be a W. Let me go over our first 10 games. Okay, so at that point, the Rockets, I'm just going to give us an L simply because I just don't. To me, that's just a distraction. If we win, great, but if we lose, it's a lot of stuff going on. But we should beat Indiana. We should beat Atlanta. We should beat Dallas. Game at Dallas is going to be tough. So if we lose to Houston, I think we'll probably be 3-1, 2-2 at worst at that point. Sacramento at home. We're the champions, so I'm going to go 3-1. Sacramento 4-1. The Wizards 5-1. New Orleans 6-1. At the Clippers, That's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go 6-2 at Portland. By the way, they just got sold yesterday to the guy that owns the Hurricane from Carolina Panthers, the Carolina Hurricane. So they said that they will keep the team in so for over $4 billion, and they will keep the team in Portland, which by all means they should. And the NBA part of that is if, like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder, if they get sold, they're not going anywhere. The NBA is not going to move out of Oklahoma City. The way that the city's growing, the way that they're building a new arena, we're the world champions. What are you doing? So someone wants to come in and spend $5 billion, which I believe the Thunder are going to go. That's what I said. I told somebody the other day. I think they're going to be worth about $5 billion. That's what I said. You're the champions. You got your whole team coming back. You're not like the Celtics. You're not in cap hell. So those things I think will matter to a new owner who wants to come in. And like I said, if you're from Dallas, which they've got tons of money, Houston tons of money, Kansas City tons of money. Why would you not? You can get on a plane, your private G5 or G7 or whatever it is you have, fly up here for a game. You can spend the night or fly home if you want to, but why not get a suite at the Omni, or why not get a suite at the Cold Court, or why not get a suite at the at Skirvin? Everything is right there, so why not do that? Or you can buy your plate, whatever you want to do. You got billions and you own the team, so why wouldn't you not do that? So to me, because I don't see Dallas. If you want to own a team, there's enough money in Texas that you can put together groups. Same thing with Kansas City, because you're not going to get teams in that location. You're not going to get one in Kansas City simply because you already have one there in Lawrence. So the first 10 games, like I said, at Sacramento will be the 10th game. And then, so to me, in the first 10, I'm looking at 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 7-2. 7-3 at absolute worst. What do you think about that, Alex? 7-3, Commander. What do you think? 7-3 at worst. 8-2, probably more like 9-1. 8-2 will probably be of the first 10 games. 8-2, 9-1ish out of that first, because it's really the Houston game. Like I said, to me is the biggest trap, simply because of all the emotion with Kevin Durant, with SGA trying to do his. Get his second or break Kevin Durant's record, because whom he's currently tied with the most consecutive 20-point games in a row. To me, that's huge. So 8-2, 9-1 in our first 10 games, and then the next 10 games. Let me see. At Memphis, that's going to be a tough game. It really is, but I think we can get them. So let's say 9-2 at Golden State at home, 10-2. The Lakers at home, 11-2 at Charlotte, 12-2 at New Orleans, 13-2. Sacramento again on the road, 13-2 at Utah, 14-2. Portland, 15-2 at home. Minnesota, 16-2. Phoenix, 17. So of our first 20 games, I'm thinking 17-3, 16-4 at worst at our first 20 games. Because everybody, we played together for a full year. We kind of know who we are. We know where we're going. We know everything. And I'm going to put the schedule up for tomorrow's show. Then we're going to do After the Storm tomorrow. I cannot tonight. I would do one tonight, but Jennifer and I are going to dinner, so I can't do that tonight. But when I look at the schedule, 16-4 should be the worst that we do in the first 20 games. And then if you want to just go total dire straits, 15-5, because we've got some cupcakes in there that, there's 7 or 8 games that we should not lose. More like 8 games, 9 games. There's games you should not lose. You should not lose to Utah. You should not lose to Sacramento, especially at home. On the road, possibly, because they do have a team, but they're struggling a little bit. We struggle against them. But I'm looking at 15-5, absolute worst. But I'm more like 17-3, 18-2, because those games we should win. I mean, there's too many games in there that we should win. I don't know how you feel about that, Commander, but looking at the schedule, that's kind of how I feel about the Thunder and about where we should be as a team simply because of the fact of who we are, coming off NBA championship, wanting to come back and repeat. Because remember, they haven't been a repeat champion since what, 16, 17? So that's what, 8 years? There's been 7 different champions. So the chance for us to do something historic for this group is set right in front of us. You look at, remember, and this is year 3 of our 5-year window. Remember, year 1, before we got iHeart and Caruso. That was the first year. We get upset by Dallas, a team that I think that we were better than, but we end up losing to Dallas. Then last year, of course, we handled our business, going 84-21. I think we should have been 84-20 and 17, because if you don't lose to Denver game 1, you don't give them that game, you beat them in 5. And if you beat the Indiana Pacers in game 1, you beat them in 5. So that's 4 games that you don't lose right there, which makes you 84-17, which is historically great. But 84-21, not nothing to sneeze at. Pretty impressive if you really want to think about it. So when you look at their team and you look at where we are and you look at where we can go before, Ryan, let's my guy Rhino says, let's win 4 in a row then. I agree, but that's tough to do. Let's do 2 in a row. Let's worry about this year, Rhino, and try to get this second year, because this will be year 3. Year 4, which is next year, this is when you have to decide if you want to repay iHeart, because it's the 3rd year of his contract. So do we keep him? Team option. I think if we win, you for sure keep him. If we get to the finals and lose into the finals or conference finals and lose barely in 7 or something like that, then you bring everybody back, okay? And you do that. That's kind of how I look at that, Rhino. So then, of course, the following year, year 5, you still have your core group, and that would be the toughest year, because that's 27-28, because it's 25-26. Next year is 26-27. 27-28 year, that's the first year of SGA's contract comes due, J-Dub's contract comes due, Chet's contracts comes due. Question is, do you re-sign Dort to bring him back again after that? So all of these are things that you're really going to have to make decisions on as an organization. Do we add? Do we not? What do we do? And so those are things that the Thunder are going to have to come to terms with, not this year. And next year, like I said, it depends on whether you bring iHeart back. I think because it's going to depend on what Sorber does, how quick he develops, what does he really bring to our team? Is he going to be what we really need? But to me, the biggest things we need is going to be a replacement for K. Rich and Wiggins. We need a 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 6'9", and 6'11", K. Rich, Wiggins. We need somebody with some more size, but still bring us what they bring as far as defense, as far as athleticism, as far as being able to hit the shots outside, but they need to be bigger. So that's the thing that I think that we are lacking, is size. That's it for replacing those 2 guys. And then you need to bring a shooter in for Isaiah Joe. I'm a big Isaiah Joe fan, but that being said, I still think you need to have you need to have a consistent shooter, because to me, what Isaiah Joe brought to us, teams have now taken away. So I think that what he has given us, which, like I said, when we got him, I was over the moon. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got Isaiah Joe. I was pumped. And you can go back and look at the tape if you want to prove that what I was talking about, how excited I was that we got Isaiah Joe. I'm like, yes, we got what we needed. We got a shooter. And he was everything we thought he was going to be up until the middle of, not last year, but the year before. From the middle of 2 years ago all the way through last year, he was not the same player. And I've been harping on this thing since then. I love him, and I like what he has brought to us, but the time with us and what he can do, you saw that now teams attack him immediately on the defensive side of the basketball. So he's going to have to improve dramatically on the defensive side of the ball to even have a chance in this. Or he's got to be able to go knock down his first 3, come back, punch them again with another 3, go 4 for 6, all consistently, or 5 for 9 or something like that. He's going to have to be on fire, because if not, teams are going to attack him, which hurts us defensively. And you know how we are defensively and how proud of a team that we are defensively. So those are the schedule. That's what's going on. That's what I think. And then here is my question of the day for everyone. And to me, when I look at this question, it's a pretty easy no for me. Um, because of the simple fact that I just don't think we're going to be the team that we were before. Okay? So we're going to take a quick break. Well, no, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do our break after this question of the day. Um, I just think that what we're trying to accomplish as a team and to go back to back, which no one has done in 8 years, is the opportunity there for us? Well, hell yes, it's there for us. Will our coach continue to still have the same mentality that he's had before? I hope not, because if he does, we're not going to win the chip. We've won in spite of him. How about the biggest challenge is it for him to help us win because of him? So that's kind of what I'm looking at for this year, is if he can help us actually win this year. That's my goal. And like he did last year, don't get me wrong, he did want to help us win games, but for the most part, there it is. I was looking for my question of the day. Okay, here's the question of the day, Rhino and Alex and everybody else is watching. Here's my question of the day. Will the Thunder finish the 2025-26 season with the same roster it started with? That is the big question. Will the Thunder finish the 2025-26 season with the same roster it started with? To me, that's a no, we will not, simply because we have some holes that I think we need to finish or we need to fill, but that is the question. Will we finish the 2025-26 season with the same roster that it started with? That is the $1 million question. And then we're going to give you a chance to answer that, Rhino and Alex. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back with the answer to that question. I'm going to give my answer, and then you guys want to come in and chime in and give your answer. Please go ahead. Want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit these guys up. They'd love to take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your county or city. They'd love to take care of you and make everything great. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over at Oak Grove. They will make sure everything is fantastic with you, especially if you're remodeling a house. Hey, call these guys up. They'll take care of you. They can pull all your trash, haul it off for you, so that way you don't have to have one of those dumpsters. Put it all in there, take it off and get it done. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. You can't miss it. And then YNB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then my favorite cologne, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. This stuff is delicious. I promise you. I am a 4B, and I can tell you that I'm spoiled, and I'm very particular on what I wear. And this stuff is amazing. You can get it at Penn Square Mall. They're at the Dillard's. The men's department's on the East Dillard store. The women's is on the perfume department's on the West Dillard store. They're at Penn Square Mall. Go to Woodland Hills Mall there in Tulsa. You can go there as well. Town East Mall in Wichita, Kansas. Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, not Missouri. Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock. And then, of course, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, Texas. And Westgate Mall in Amarillo. So those are the places that you can go to get this stuff. And I can promise you, it is so good. It is so worth you purchasing. It smells so good. So here's the question again. I hope you guys had a chance to think about it. Will the Thunder finish the 2025-26 season with the same roster it started with? My answer is no, they will not. And the reason why I say that is really simple, because when you look at what we have to do, you look at who we have to compete with, you look at all the things that we have, uh, we're not gonna do it. I just don't see it. Even though I would love our team to do what we need to do, I just don't think you can look at it and say who's going to be there and who's not. I just don't see uh, with the current roster that we have who's going to maintain, who we're going to get rid of. I have who I'd rather get rid of, but that's not to say that the Thunder would think the same way. But when I look at our roster and we look at who is on it currently, and this is who's currently on the current roster that we have. The question is, will they stay? Will they won't? Whatever. Here's the $1 million question on who's got. Oh, actually, let's do this. Let's do Thunder's salaries. Let's do that instead, because if we do Thunder salaries, you can look at that. Well, that doesn't matter. Well, you can look at who you can plan for if you want to trade and do some of that. But here's who's on the team. And I should have just smoked this out as far as the top. You have SGA, Kaysen, everybody calls him Queso, Lou Dort, Topic, AJ Mitchell. That's your Isaiah Joe. Those those are players. J-Dub is 7, Caruso is 8, Aaron Wiggins is 9, K-Rich is 10. So you know those 10 for sure. Then you got Chet at 11, iHeart at 12, J. Will at 13, and you got to give Sorber some kind of look at some point. So that's who you have. Now, you can tell me that you think all of them are going to make it. And to me, the untouchables are simply SGA, Queso, Dort, Topic, J-Dub, Caruso, Chet, iHeart. Those 8 to me aren't going anywhere. That's your 8. So that leaves you with AJ Mitchell, Isaiah Joe, K. Rich, Wiggins, and J. Will. That's your 13 guys that you know are going to play. And I did put Sorber in there because we don't know what we're going to have out of him yet. So anyway, that's the way I look at it. So what do you do for that? Who do you blend in? Who do you don't? So to me, that's how I look at it. So like I said, SGA, Queso, Lou Dort, Topic, J-Dub, Caruso, Chet, iHeart. Those 8, I don't see them going. I don't see you doing anything with that 8. Okay? Those 8 aren't going anywhere. So to me, those 8 aren't going anywhere. So who do you get rid of? And to me, between the other 5. It's between the other 5. And can you get something out of the other 5? And the other 5 is K. Rich, AJ Mitchell, Wiggins. I don't know why that popped up like that. Why did that pop up like that? That was weird. Anyway, who do you put in there? Okay, that's K. Rich, that's Wiggins, that's AJ Mitchell, that's J. Will. And who was my other one? And there's those 4 right there to me. Oh, Isaiah Joe. That's your 5th one. So those are your 5 that to me are people that you can lose. Even though to me, Jay Will was probably the last of that group simply because he's so good in the locker room and he's a good fit for what we're trying to do here in Oklahoma City. So I would really put the other 4. I would put him last on the list of people that we'd want to possibly get rid of. Jay Will, I would put him last. But Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, K. Rich, and A.J. Mitchell. And A.J. Mitchell made himself quite an interesting deal because of the summer, the way he played. He just played magnificent. So to me, you have him that you really got to that you have to sit there and you look at, with teams, who's tradable, who's something somebody would want. And I think that A.J. Mitchell is that particular person that other teams would want simply because of what he brings to the table and what he brings to Oklahoma City. So, but anyway, I just think that I like him a lot. And you look at Topic, the thing that I've determined from him, he can't shoot. That's not the mid right now. That's right now. Now the question is, by the time the season, is he going to be a valuable threat? Yes. But at the end of games, what it tells me is I've got SGA, I've got Chet, I've got J-Dub, I've got Caruso for sure, and Dort. That's my five to close out games. That's my five because if you can't shoot the basketball, talking about Topic, if you can't shoot the three, then to me you're hurting. You're hurting us. And the thing is with this, there's not a weak link to attack. And I hear some people talking about SGA. How many times they try to post him up and he tipped the ball and get a steal? When you have 30, 12 assists, 13 assists, whatever it was, with 5 blocks and 3 steals, why the hell are you attacking that guy? 5 blocks and 3 steals? I'm not attacking him. That was his game 5 stats in the NBA Finals. How is he a weak link? That's nonsense to me that even people would think that up. But if you look at the team, who do you attack? Lou Dort? No. J-Dub off the defensive team? No. But I'm going to attack him on the perimeter more than I am. I'm going to get him a small matchup, and I'm going to attack him that way because he doesn't move his feet as good, but he still plays well. Caruso, you're not attacking him inside or outside. That's done. So Dort and Caruso are off the thing. And that leaves you with J-Dub, Chet, and it would be J-Dub, then Chet, or SGA. Or excuse me, SGA would be, let's do them in, yes, that would be it. If you're going to attack one out of that group, it would be SGA, yes. I'm not attacking J-Dub. If I'm going to attack J-Dub, I'm going to put him on a smaller guard because he's more of a 3-4-5, really a 4-5 defender. He develops really well. He can defend a 3, but he's really 3-4-5, but really 4-5. He can defend the big when you really want to go small. He can do that when you can take Ihart off the floor. So anyway, when I look at trading, that's how I look at that, okay? Plain and simple. That's how I look at that, and that's the way that is. Now, the NFL season is here. It's starting up. And in NFL news, Chiefs Rashid Rice will play the first 4 games this year before he faces the NFL for possible suspension because of the thing with the driver racing in Dallas, and then ran away from the scene, which he's young and he's with the wrong people. Dude, you have to watch who you hang with. And when you hang with a bunch of guys who are not going to tell you no, and you're providing the cars for them to drive fast in, you gotta surround him. He's young. But he could have lost. Somebody could have got killed, and his career is over. Something bad could have happened, but he got lucky. And the people talk about when should he have played, when should this be, and I agree with some people who have talked about it. If it's me, I'd rather him be suspended for the first 4 or 5 games, or 6 games, however many it is, and then come back and play the rest of the year, then start the season, then miss the middle part of the season and come back at the end. I'd rather you miss the beginning and then come and let's finish strong and build on something than build it and then you're gone and then we got to build it again. So to me, that they didn't do the Chiefs any favors by doing that to me. Go ahead and get rid of them at first. But when you look at what the NFL is doing, what do they want? Okay. The NFL, the Chiefs play the toughest schedule every year and they come out on top. They have the hardest schedule of any team every year. Now, of course, they're damn near in the Super Bowl every year, and they're for sure in the NFL, in the AFC Championship every year because they've been 6 straight. But they just make it harder because they want somebody else in there. People talking about, they want this. No, they don't. You either love or hate the Chiefs. And, we have this little short dude that's always on Fox, and he hates him. It's like, bro, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. What are you, an idiot? He's an idiot, but he's also a Jets fan. Like, you're an idiot. And all you're doing is you're a typical person of today's age. You say stupid shit, or you get people fired up so people will watch you so you can stay relevant. Your takes are idiotic, but you know that, and you do that so people like me will say your name so that you can come on air and talk. And I'm not saying your name because you're an idiot. I don't give people like that any sort of credence. But that's what they like. They want clicks, they want likes. You see players, clicks and likes. And the reason why players are getting Shannon Sharp, the reason why he's getting so much play on his nightcap. Why? Because he's knowledgeable, and he's going to not say a bunch of nonsense. When he talks about the game, he's talking about the game, not some nonsense you get from some newspaper guy, some kid. What this got 5,000 likes or whatever on YouTube and whatever, Twitch, whatever. They're saying a bunch of nonsense, talking a bunch of nonsensical people. To me, don't give me no bullshit. Tell me what's up. Let me hear what's going on. Tell me something I don't already know. That's how I look at it. When you listen to me, especially when we do Thunder breakdowns, our coach deserves flowers, I give him flowers. If he don't, he don't. If SGA has a bad game, I say it. He has a good game, I give him flowers. J-Dub, same thing. Chet, same thing. Our team, the same thing. I'm going to give you flowers when you earn flowers. If you don't earn the flowers, I'm damn sure not giving them to you. You have to earn the right for my respect. But I'm also, in respecting you, I'm not going to kiss your ass, which is what happened with Rasheed Rice. Quit kissing his ass. Get you somebody in your life that will tell you no. Like, bro, we probably shouldn't do this. Shadur Sanders driving 100 miles an hour. Got to stop. Well, what happened to him? He did it at Jackson State. He probably did it in Dallas. Got away with it. He did it when he was in Colorado. For sure he did it. And he's doing it back now. I'm an NFL quarterback. I can do what I want. No, you can't. He found out 2 times. Now it's all in the news and everything else, which it wasn't before. So you have to have people around you who are going to tell you no. You have to have people around you who have substance. He's a young player, but they're in the likes. They're in all this nonsense. And these guys, he's paying their bills. He's doing all this. So they're going to kiss his ass. I have 0 ass kissers in my life. All my friends, they give me love, give me my flowers when I deserve them, and they're in my ass when I don't. I'm the same way with them. I'm the same way with you. This show is called the Unpopular Hour for a reason. We're not going to say all the sweet things. We're not doing it. I'm going to give you your flowers when you earn them, and I'm going to be in your ass when you don't. Period. That's what this show is. This is not some show, let me get a bunch of likes and all this stuff simply because I'm telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you don't want to hear so you can be informed and be knowledgeable. Hey, what's up, Rashawn? How you doing? Let me see. I do not why you still watch Fox or ESPN. That's how I found you. I couldn't take the lack of knowledge in mainstream. I don't. I watch certain people, Rashawn. I don't really watch it so much, but I watch certain people. Okay, like I watch Colin Cowherd. I don't listen to his sidekick dude, but I watch him. Stephen A. Smith, I've never been really a big fan of because to me, he's putting on a show now more than anything else. Look at how I look, blah blah blah. He's just throwing it. That's a bunch of nonsense to me. So I don't really watch him. I don't watch First Take. I've never really watched it. I watched it when him and Skip was on there, and then he started getting him and Skip would get outrageous, so I stopped. I watched Skip and Shannon until Skip, he would get outrageous and I had to quit watching him. I would only watch them on YouTube so I could scan through what Skip was saying and listen to what Shannon was saying. I watched First Take when Shannon was back on. And then now he's off again. So I do watch certain people, Rashawn, who are credible to me. But I don't like First Take simply because Stephen A. Smith he's ridiculous. But he's putting on a show. He's a showman. He's giving the people the nonsense. That kind of stuff I'm not interested in. Now, is he knowledgeable more like when he's on ESPN watching Game Day and NBA Game Day and stuff like that? Yes. Because he doesn't have to go out and say a bunch of nonsense. It's not his show. He's just a piece of whatever's going on. So that's the difference. So I don't watch it all, Rashawn, but I do watch some of it. Sometimes I do like Colin. I like Colin Cowherd simply because of what he brings. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, Maya. I know Thunder schedule just came out. I just went over the Thunder schedule at the beginning of the show. So anyway, that's kind of what they. Hey, Rashawn, I don't know if you saw the schedule with the Thunder schedule, but I said that in the first 20 games, I thought at worst 15-5, at best 17-3. So that's kind of my schedule. So now talking about the NFL schedule, here's the NFL schedule that I've come up with. That I'm coming up with. Let me see. I want to do this first. I want to do these two teams first because the games are tomorrow, so I'll probably go over that tomorrow. But in the NBA schedule, here are the two teams we want to talk about schedule: the Baltimore Ravens uh, and who they play, and then of course the Pittsburgh Steelers who they play. Let me see. When you look at it, guys, the Baltimore Ravens, and you look at they play at the Bills. Ooh, man, I'm excited to watch that simply because Josh Allen versus Lamar. Josh beat Lamar out for the MVP last year. I believe that right there is going to be. Plus, it's a rematch from the semifinal games, right? When I got Mark Andrews dropped that pass, and people got on Mark Andrews. I'm like, y'all an idiot. Mark Andrews is amazing. Y'all are stupid for being on him. Then they play at the Browns at home, which that should be a W. They already know what they're going to get. That the defense from Browns is going to be good, but I just don't see anything different happening there. The Lions, I believe they'll take care of the Lions at home. They smashed the Lions. I don't see the Lions. And plus, Lamar is so good against NFC teams simply because they're not used to playing against him. So I don't really see any closeness at all there at all in that thing. At the Chiefs, however, that's going to be a different game. I know they're going to really want them and want that game at the Chiefs on CBS. I don't know why I have that in there. I got to fix that. That's going to bug me. Oh, they got that. It should be 325, not 325. Oh, I hate it when you do your schedule like that and it messes up. I hate it when it does that. But anyway, at the Chiefs, that should be crazy. When you look at that game against the Chiefs and what's going to happen there, I'm a big fan of Lamar, and plus I think they really do want the Chiefs really bad, and they should be able to handle their business against them. I think it's going to be a great game, but I do believe that the at the Chiefs, I think that's a hard game, and plus I think he's only lost to Lamar once. And that was that game that they beat them and they missed the field goal. So Mahomes just has a way over certain guys, and there's certain teams or certain players that you play against that you just can't seem to beat for whatever reason. When I look at what we did and who the teams we lost to, and it's the same thing there. I just look at that and just go, man. Anyway, at the Chiefs. I believe the Chiefs handled their business. Rashawn, Ravens winning the AFC. Is that what you think? When you look at that schedule, Rashawn, I don't know, man. So anyway, I got them going at the Bills. I think, they want the Bills big time. But I think the Bills win at home. So I think they're 2-2 after the first four games. I think they beat the Texans at home. They beat the Chargers at home. So I believe they'll be 4-2 at that particular stage. That's just me going through the schedule, Rashawn. Before the bye. They're going to beat the Bears. That's 5-2 at the Dolphins. That's enough, so it'll still be kind of warm. But they're going to be run all over the Dolphins, so they'll be 6-2 at the Vikings, 7-2 at the Browns, 7-3. Jets 8-3. Bengals 9-3. Steelers 10-3. 10-4 against the Bengals. 11-4. And then 11-5, 11-6. So 11 and a half. So that puts them at the under, doesn't it? I have them at 12, but I thought they'd get 12, but 11 and a half. Let's go, man. Let me see. Bills loss. Browns win. Lions win. Chiefs lost. Texans win. Chargers win. Bears win. Dolphins win. Vikings win. Browns loss. Jets. Bengals. Steelers. Yeah. 11-3. Okay. Yeah. So they'll lose. They'll beat the Packers or the Steelers, lose to the Steelers. And so, yeah, I got them at 12. 12 wins. I'm doing them over. I think they'll be right at 12. That's why I have the Baltimore. They're at 12. I had to go redo that schedule. So that's 12 wins, I think, for the Baltimore Ravens. So they'll be the over in that 11.5 schedule. Packers will be a loss. So you think, but Rashawn, I don't know if they're going to lose at Green Bay and at the Steelers. I think they'll split one of those games. Because remember, the NFC teams, Lamar is what, 18-1? The Packers are underrated, I agree with Sean, but the Lamar is like 16, 17, whatever, and 1 against the NFC because they don't see him. So that's why I think they'll win at the Packers and lose at the Steelers at the end. That's what I think. They'll split those. Because he's going to go, he'll beat the Packers because they don't see him. They'll beat the Vikings because they don't see him. They'll beat the Bears because they don't see him. And they'll beat the Lions because they don't see him. So he'll go 4-0 against the NFC because I just don't think they don't have anybody to really beat them. I just don't see. He just beats the AFC, the NFC. So that's kind of how I look at that part of it and what they'll do. Now we look at the Steelers' schedule. At the Jets to open up the season, I think that'll be a win for them. I just do. I think Aaron has something to prove. Aaron Rodgers has something to prove against the Jets, so I'm going to give them a W on that. The Seahawks at home. The Seahawks going to be with Sam Darnold. That's early, so I'm going to give the Steelers a W there because it's early. At the Patriots, that's going to be a tougher win than people think early, but if you're going to beat the Patriots, you're going to beat them early, so I'm going to give them a break there. 3-0. Vikings 4-0. Browns, they'll be, let's say, 4-1 there. At the Bengals, 4-2. Packers at home, 5-2. Colts 6-2. At the Chargers, 6-3. Bengals at home, 7-3. Bears 8-3. Bills, I believe the Bills are better than them. 8-4. At the Ravens, 8-5. Dolphins at home, now it'll be kind of cold then. 9-5. At the Lions, I don't have confidence in the Lions. 10-5. Browns Ravens 10-7. 10-7. So I think they are over. So I think they're over by at least one game, if not two. They'll be 9-5. They'll win 10 games, 9 to 10 games. So I'll give them the over when it comes to that. When I look at the schedule and I look at the teams, I'm gonna give the Steelers the over right there. But Rashawn, I do believe they could win the AFC. I 100% they can't believe that. I do because at some point, as I talked about earlier, with the Chiefs and what they're doing, at some point, Patrick Mahomes is not going to go to the AFC Championship game. And he's only lost once because he's been to the Super Bowl 5 times. 1, 3, lost 2. 5 of the 6, and the only time he lost was when he had the worst half that he's ever had in his career against Joe Burrow. And a lot of that had to do with the first half. When they tried to go ahead and get the 3 points, they came up with 0 at the first half, up 21. If you're up 24, you score again at that, I think you put them away. But because they did not, and then he comes back the second half, I just think to me, when they did that, I said right then and there, Chiefs going to lose this game. And I never forget, I'm watching the Cowboys and the Giants. And this was the year the Giants won the Super Bowl. Their last one. I forget what year it was. And I'm sitting up in the end zone, which I love. The NFL games, I love being in the end zone because you can see the whole field. And I'm sitting next to this guy. One of the executives at the Green Bay Packers. Rashawn says at some point the Ravens won't beat themselves in the playoffs. I agree. I agree. But when is that? When is that, Rashawn? But anyway, back to the Packers and the Cowboys. And I'm in the stands. And I'm sitting right next to this executive. And I'll never forget this. Tony Romo throws a pass, and I forget what the kid's name is. Williams, I believe, is what it was. Wide receiver, wide open. If he catches that pass, and they're on the 12-yard line or something like that, they're on 12. If he catches that pass, well, number one, he probably scores. And number two, the Dallas Cowboys would have been on the roll. And Romo put it right on the money. It's when they had, I believe it was T.O. was playing, and he was a decoy on the side. Wide open, and he drops it. Drops it. And I thought right then and there, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. And this is early to the middle of the third quarter, so it's 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes left in the game in the third quarter. And this executive gets on his phone, and he says, start printing up the tickets. The Giants are going to be in Green Bay. And I just looked at him. I was like, what? And he goes, son, I've seen enough football to know that play right there, that sealed the deal for sealed Dallas Cowboys' fate right there. The Giants are going to win this game based off that one play. They kick it off, and our guy Robert runs it back. McPherson, oh my God, my name just went blank. Robert played at Booker T, played at OSU. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. I can't believe it. I can't remember his last name right now. Went to Booker T, went to OSU. We played golf together. Oh, my God. Anyway, he's going to kill me. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. McQuarters. R.W. McQuarters. That's who it was. Anyway, R.W. McQuarters runs the kickback, and then they score right away, and he's gone at this point. And it went downhill from that point on, and the Giants ended up beating the Cowboys. They beat the Cowboys on the road and turned around and beat the Packers on the road and then beat Tom Brady. I was like, oh, my God. And this guy saw something happen right then. So it's amazing how little things can make a difference. And you can watch NBA games. That's why I love going with the commander to Thunder games, because we sit there, and he doesn't talk a lot, neither do I. But there are times when he will say something, or I will say blah, blah, blah to him, and he'll go, yep, blah, 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 and he'll add to it. And exactly what we're talking about will happen, just like like when we played the Miami Heat. He called it, I called it. It was unbelievable. So anyway, that being said, guys, it was a great show today. I'm looking forward to the Thunder being we'll have the full schedule out. We're going to probably try to do a show tomorrow and after the Storm show, Rashawn, tomorrow night, and try to get that on and get that done. So, but anyway, that being said, hey, thank you guys for watching and all your comments about. By the way, Rashawn, I don't know if you heard this, but we did a question of the day was, do you believe that the Thunder will finish the season with the same lineup, the same roster that they started the season with? I said no, they will not. They will not finish the season with the same roster. They will change rosters. Rashawn, what do you think? Do you think the Thunder will keep the same roster that they start the season with in 25-26? I just don't, because I believe that in order to repeat, you have to upgrade. You've basically kept your roster intact with everything that we had from last year, but you have to upgrade. And I believe the losing of Cam Johnson will hurt us. It's going to help Denver 100%. And I just laugh at the Nets. That's why the Nets, the Jets, and the Mets are all, and even the Clippers, they are who they are. They make the stupidest moves. You could have traded Cam to us last year and got picks and got everything, and you could have had 8 or 9 picks, but you didn't do it because you wanted more. You got greedy, and you got hurt. So, and now he's going to the Nuggets for nothing. Rashawn, no, because of the Nuggets. Yeah, I was talking about the Nuggets with Cam going there. They're going to be tough, but they just don't scare me. They just really don't. Nuggets don't scare me. They just don't. If we don't give away game 1, Rashawn, we beat them in 5 this year. So that's how I look at it. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Y'all stay good, stay cool, stay sweet, and remember,